Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm recording now this video after yesterday's circus, which unfortunately Danya and Kay decided to make. Well, to me it was quite a low-level show, but okay, I don't know. They probably think it has some dignity, yeah, to do this kind of things. But anyways, I don't want to touch it. It's kind of, well, to me it's quite disgusting, but well, maybe they have different point of view. I don't know what did they want to prove. My clear, well, idea, I mean, the only conclusion which I had, that since it was very well prepared and Hikaru and Gotham immediately jumped on it for no reason, of course, because of course I didn't accuse Danya of cheating yesterday, definitely, just that he was lying, I mean, on camera. Well, I didn't know if he was doing it on purpose, of course, but as any logical person, I was just trying to reveal his lies, and I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't accuse him of cheating. But since that's what all this bunch of people wanted me to, I suppose, and were prepared to do, so then they started to attack me as if I did, which is not true. But okay, you shouldn't expect truth from these people, so that's okay. It's a business, they do their own way. I mean, I do my own way according to my ethics standards, so doesn't matter. So okay, what I want today is just to continue explaining all of you that there are a lot of very legit questions, very serious questions, and I really ask you to watch this video till the end, because at the end will be the most interesting part, something new. Well, surprisingly, because already there was a lot of questions which Danya avoids actually to answer, and instead he manipulates and lies, and I'm responsible for my word. I will explain you now exactly where. I mean, Danya is doing it, is blaming me for that, but he doesn't give a single case when I'm lying, but when he gives, actually it's not true. So I will not, actually I don't want to get into this idiotic kind of exchange of videos, because, well, you know, if Danya would be ready, I invited him half a year ago to talk, he refused. I mean, actually, he didn't answer. Then now I know that Levitov Chess channel invited him to have a direct conversation with us, that we can discuss things. He again refused. So, but he is claiming that I am avoiding conversation. I mean, all this I don't. So I mean, I will just continue exposing some lies, and as well as asking new questions. And I would really ask Danya to answer it, because not even me, I mean, he doesn't have to, you know, but I mean, I think many people would wonder if he would not give any serious answer on those things which I'm going to show you, which I already showed and I'm going to show you today. First, his response to me. Okay, I will just very briefly, I don't want to get, it's too low level in my opinion, I don't want to get into these discussions and expose each lie, but just briefly, couple of minutes, I will show you his reply, and I'll just explain you how much manipulation is there. Okay, let's go.
So
I'll just stop, and when he manipulates or lies, I will exactly tell you where and why.
before people try to like backseat drive and tell me, you know, what to do, I think this is a very easy thing that I can do. And I consulted with a trusted super GM who I think is on my side here. Mm-hmm. And he suggested that that even among the super GM community, there is enough quote unquote suspicion with the eye movements in particular.
Yes, and it's his friend, but also people who are not on his side are telling the same. Yeah, there is enough suspicion. And now he comes to tell, and there is a group of people, I mean, at least whom I know, and I'm sure many who, let's say, who are responding to this material which I publish about eye movements, they were telling the same. It's extremely dubious. But for some reason he called all this is BS, and like it is completely ridiculous. I'm sorry. But there are a lot of people. I'm not the only one, yeah, who think like this.
That it's worth just doing this really quickly just to establish the extent of slanderous lies and the
Slanderous lies. You see, it starts the manipulation. What is lie? What is lie there? I was showing it. And we are not slander, we're just asking question to you. Many people are wondering why this is happening. And after today's video, there will be even more.
the just the depths to which this has descended to.
It's just descended to this depth because, Danya, you refuse to answer a lot of very simple questions.
So I am. I know that I have nothing to prove. Literally, as I said earlier, one of the reasons that I decided to stream most of my TTs is precisely because I anticipated this kind of situation.
I really doubt it is because of that, but anyway. Because if it would be because of that, you would probably put the camera behind your back and film everything, and then there will be no questions. But you didn't do it, and you are still not doing it for some reason. Even if you say that I would be very happy to do it, but you didn't.
And unfortunately, things like innocent until proven guilty, things like
You are not proving. You are not trying to prove you guilty. And I very, with all responsibility, I tell that yes, you are suspect in this case, in my opinion, and not only mine. But of course, you are not guilty. Being suspected and being guilty is absolutely not the same. So don't try to get to this chess.com manipulation, which they use all the time. That I'm accusing Hikaru. No, I'm not accusing. You are not guilty, and you know it. Nobody is telling you are guilty, at least not me. And so please don't play this manipulation game. But you need, if there are a lot of very serious questions, just answer them, and then that will, just end the story. The situation.
streaming your games are no longer sufficient for a large swath of people. And
of course it is not, and you know it. If you don't have the camera on your back, it is not at all. So please, don't play this game. Of course, I understand your audience. Quite many of them, they don't know much about chess, and chess.com and Hikaru and all these people, they convince them that streaming, makes it impossible to cheat. It doesn't make it even slightly more difficult to cheat than without streaming, and you know it very well, Danya.
I think it's very easy for me to do this. It costs me nothing. I have this streaming space.
But I didn't do it. Yeah, you wanted to say what?
It's ready. And if there's a small step that I can take to expose the malice and foolish.
So now manipulation starts. Malice, foolishness. Now he comes to say that everything I say is a lie and manipulation. This is outrageous, without, of course, naming a single case, at least here.
And most importantly, just like the mendacity and manipulation and everything that he's saying and doing as part of this sudden.
Yeah, mendacity, manipulation, to be more precise, but this is just ridiculous. It's very, very low behavior, but okay. Because I also tell Danya, you lie sometimes and you manipulate, but every time I'm showing exactly where, and I prove it that you don't do, actually.
Character assassination, when most importantly, let me establish once again, I have never cheated.
Okay, we remember it. Actually, he did. In the full sense of the word cheating, I checked on chess.com the definition of cheating. One of the definitions is using engine during a game. This is what you did, Danya. What was the reason for it? We will come back now. We will come now to this, but you are de facto absolutely. De euro. De euro. You cheated. This is like you admitted that you had the engine during a game. That is what you admitted. It was recorded live, and this is according to chess.com rules. It's considered to be cheating. So, the euro, you are wrong, simply saying that you never cheated. Then it's like doping, sportsman can take some medicine and all of a sudden it's in the anti-doping list. He didn't know about it. It can happen, but still he's banned because he he didn't pass the doping control. Danya, you didn't pass the doping control on camera, and you admitted it. And please don't tell this.
I did not cheat in the games that he is clearly, not accusing me of.
No, in the other games we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. I'm not accusing. I'm just asking question. But in that particular video, which we are going to see now, you did. I mean, and you admitted it. It's not because it's not my opinion. It is a fact.
Cheating in? Absolutely not. I will share a few things about what what I would have been prepared to do if these suspicions had been phrased in a good faith manner.
What do you mean in good faith manner? I mean, you can check my videos. Danya, don't pretend, don't play victim. I never accuse you of cheating. I was just asking questions. You refuse to answer it, and then again, it's all this manipulation. Yeah, malice, manipulations. He's calling it that I have bad faith. No, I don't have anything against you. Even though by what happened in last week or two, frankly, well, I was not very, didn't improve, let's say, my position. I mean, my idea about you as a person, but it's my personal view. I mean, it's not an accusation, but actually I was just asking question, and I will continue asking today. So, okay, this was a small element of this manipulation. Okay, doesn't matter. I don't want to get into this dirt. I mean, it's not the point. I'm not fighting with Danya. I mean, I'm fighting with for fair chess play, and it's very clear that certain things are happening which must be seriously examined and and not just being ignored. And unfortunately, it happened to be that Danya, well, has quite a lot in his pocket, or in, certainly episode where some serious answers are required. Okay, let's go to the next one. So let's see now this episode when Danya was using engine during an educational stream. Let's go here and where is it? Fish and pole. Yeah, fish and pole trap. So it actually starts here. Danya pretended, as I understand, somewhere in his explanation, that he just, because the game was already okay, obviously he was queen up, so he switched on in chess base, he entered the moves and started to use the engine. Well, first of all, and this is for purely educational purposes. Well, first of all, it's very clearly said, also in the rules of Chess.com, and Danya knows very well, it's not for the first day in Chess.com, that using engine during play is strictly prohibited. This is the rule. And Danya knows it. So he knows he is violating rules, with it. But then the problem is that his explanation simply doesn't stand a reality check, a very simple, logical reality check. Because let's see what is happening here. It's 7:15. So Danya pretends that he at some point starts to enter the moves. And then the engine starts to run, and he looked at the engine. Of course, again, the most important point in all this story is, of course, he didn't need the engine to cheat in this game. It's obvious. The point is not this. The point is that first, very important point. For example, for me, it wouldn't even cross my mind to switch on an engine during a game, because it is forbidden. I mean, not only that I don't have the setup for it, obviously, but also it wouldn't even be an idea in my head. Second, this idea of educational purposes, you can see the position and you understand that there is simply no point to analyze this game with the engine. The amateurs who are checking your stream, they are not searching for some complicated computer lines anyway, because probably they're having engine there, checking your stream, but they want your explanation. So this is so weak, this explanation, that I did it for educational purposes. Check the position, and they came here to listen to you, to what you explain, not the engine. And don't play these games that, for this game, where your opponent blunders a queen on, I don't know, move 10 or 12, you need an engine. I mean, the truth is most probably, we don't know the truth, of course, but there is all logics telling that actually most probably, I mean, according to my very logical conclusion, the engine was all the time on. I mean, during this, because why I think like that. Of course, you can think whatever you want, but I would seriously contest the words of Danya, which are saying that he just switched it on at this particular moment. How technically? I asked this question and Danya never answered how exactly he did it, because I don't see any realistic way to manage it simply. Because you all know that on the chess.com you cannot analyze games, of course, while you are playing. Once you finish, immediately the game, well, there is an engine so you can analyze. But as long as you are playing, you cannot do it on chess.com. So you also, so there are certain plugins you can use a second account, and then watching it from the second account, yeah, the engine is running. So that is, in my opinion, most likely what was happening, but I don't know. Or you can try to open ChessBase and put your, I mean, get the engine in. For that, you need first of all to have it set up. I mean, any kind of setup which normally, yeah, you shouldn't have as a player who never uses engine. Secondly, in this particular case, just check this. This is a live stream, and you can see the time. You can see the time. So you can calculate, okay, now the opponent has 7:15, 3:33 Danya, his clock will not change. So now supposedly his engine is not on, because he said he just started here to, and anyway, by the way, if you check, the mouse is on the board all this time, last minute, so he didn't have time to install the moves earlier, yeah? And now, so what is happening, that he pretends that, okay, now there is a cut. So you see 7:14, it's a slow motion, 7:13, 7:12. There is no sign of him installing moves. His mouse disappears, that's true, only now disappears, because it was on the board before, here, you see. So he couldn't install moves, yeah? And as he claims. And now it starts to disappear, and 7:12, and there is a cut. There is a cut here, 6:51. So the cut is what? Yeah, and immediately here he says, yeah, this is interesting. Actually, the engine wow says something. So it means there is 20 seconds only. Very interesting why exactly this moment was cut. I mean, and in fact, if Danya wants to prove that the engine was not running, but he simply installed the moves with ChessBase, he definitely has the original version, so he can present us this cut 20 seconds, and we will see. I guess there were some people who were watching this stream live. Well, maybe they remember, but okay, we will not search for them. If somebody remembers, he can tell. But anyway, there is a very clear, Danya can present a proof that he didn't use the engine. The engine was not running all the time, which is already a very serious violation. This is already serious, and also would prove that he is not sincere, to put it mildly, telling this. But we don't know. But anyway, logic says that he had 20 seconds. He's still sitting in the same position, so not in a hurry. So that means that in these 20 seconds, he should have then, first of all, I mean, people see the board, people see the chat. So even if there is a way from this monitor to do it, there is I mean, you need to close something so people can see. You need to open ChessBase. You need to get the engine on. It all takes time, I can assure you. It takes time. You need to install the move, get the engine on. You need to make sure people are not seeing it. Yeah, all this, and then you need to, to finish it all, come back to the stream. I mean, sorry, it is 20 seconds. It's not realistic. First of all, just physically, but then it's also very obvious why it is most probably not true, because when he's talking about engine lines, yeah, you see where he's looking. He's looking there. So there is another monitor there. It's probably not the main monitor. It seems to be different directions. There is some monitor there, which is obviously showing the engine moves, yeah, which is with the engine running. So if he would have done it on his monitor, and definitely he obviously doesn't have time to go somewhere and to install move somewhere else. He would look at his monitor simply and not look far. This is pretty far away to check the engine. He would just check it straight. So this is very obvious. I mean, this is for kindergarten, this explanation, Danya. And it's pretty obvious because all the time, let's say after games when he is explaining lines, and now he will be later given lines, he's looking there. So it's very clear engine is running there, not here. I mean, here again, he's telling, wow, very interesting lines, and looking very far. So this is very, and then let's say when the game finishes, he starts to explain some lines, not here, but, and then when he's explaining those lines, it's always the same story. He's looking there and telling, yeah, I could play this, or now Blake plays this. I mean, it's very obvious. You can just check this stream, and now like this, and then he starts to tell lines, yeah. So I mean, Daniel, whom are you fooling? I mean, this is very obvious that the engine was there, that most probably, I guess, it was running all the time because very often you look at this in between games when you analyze games and give lines, just looking there. So, and you want to pretend me that I mean, you, for this particular moment when you did it during a game, you decided to install it very quickly, I don't know, in 10 seconds, in a hurry, and on chess base. I mean, come on, Danya, please, this is not serious. But then it changes quite a lot. If this is true, what I tell, I mean, if this is the correct thing what happened, and as you understand, there are a lot of reasons to believe so, I mean, then it means the engine was running probably all the time, and then it changes situation a lot, and it also refuses these explanations which Danya gives. I mean, and this is already a very serious violation. And I would like to ask why Danya commits so easily this violation, if this is true. So please, Danya, this is one of the things which, because you can see chat here, board here, and then when he is glancing there, very often when he starts to give lines, he glances on the side. I mean, very much on the side. I will just show you now. Now it's obviously a chat, but at some point when he analyzing some games, let's see. This is and by the way, also during games, sometimes again these glances exactly there. I'm sorry, there was an engine, maybe not now, but there was an engine. And here, for instance, I can show you moments. Yeah, so he is explaining the position, and then it's a slow motion, and then he is glancing there. So you will see now. Before, at some point, knight d4, he says, and now there will be a glance there, and then he would say, okay, white is, then he looks, winning, completely winning. I mean, look at it. Just look at yourself. After bishop c3, bc3, I think. So castle, and open the door for the knight, jumping onto d5. Okay. 1 second. Yeah, he's explaining the position. Yeah, trade and just completely winning. But here he, 1 second, he's making the, yeah, look. So actually he is glancing when he is saying white is, then the glance completely winning. I mean, okay, of course it's insinuation, manipulation, whatever call it, but it's very obvious, yeah? I mean, I think to me it's very obvious. It's your opinion to think whatever you want, but let's not be, hypocrite. And to me, my opinion that the engine was running full time there. But anyway, even if not, and Danya is telling the truth, I mean, to me it's shocking and actually very concerning, on top of many other things which I already show and will show in my next videos, that Danya with such an ease, without any necessity, and don't tell me about these educational purposes, you're piece up after 15 moves, and okay, do you need an engine to explain the position? I mean, come on, Danya. I mean, the problem that with such or when you're queen up, that you're just having a setup. First of all, a certain setup where you have or you can switch on very quickly the engine, and you are doing it without even necessity. And you explain me that we cannot ask question. How can you even suspect that something wrong can happen in other games? I mean, are you taking me for idiot? Of course I can suspect. If you are doing this for no real reason in absolutely unnecessary situation, how would I be completely sure that you wouldn't do it, when you have the setup, when you have the possibility, that you wouldn't do it when it's a more serious situation, when you really need it. I mean, it's just logics. I mean, again, don't pretend that I'm accusing or I'm manipulating. No, it's just basic common sense. So, Danya, please, I mean, this you have to answer. And you must answer this very clear logical chain, which leads to the my conclusion that probably you didn't tell the truth simply, and the truth is much worse for you than here in this particular example than you pretend. I'm not even mentioning that here in the comments for this video you are telling that I'm very sorry, it was wrongdoing, and I shouldn't have done it, and I didn't, by the way, know that when you switch on the engine, all to get out with it was to say sorry to Chess.com. I didn't know that, but good for me to know. Maybe Kirill Shevchenko, if he was seemingly he was doing something wrong, but if it's true, I guess he should just apologize. Yeah, that would be fine. So that is first of all strange. But then already a few days ago in one of your streams, okay, people can find it, and actually in this stream I'm going to show in my next video, you're telling that actually I didn't do anything really wrong in my opinion. So where is the truth? I mean, what is all this? I mean, why you're changing opinion? Why you're giving very weak explanations about this meteoric installing moves on chess base in 20 seconds, and when all the logics tells that it is not the case. I mean, this is all, and you want everyone to trust you fully, just trust because you're such a nice guy. As we tell in Russian, nice guy is not a profession yet. Yeah, I mean, what I mean is that okay, it doesn't matter, nice guy, not nice guy, even especially since a nice guy is a very subjective definition. Yeah, and but okay, you just I'm sorry, Danya, to tell you the truth, and it's not insult, it's truth. To me personally, all what you've said and done recently doesn't improve my trust at all into you, because of a lot of things which I don't frankly believe it's true simply of what you are saying and doing. So sorry, but yeah, we are not in it's about anti-cheating. If you are clean, maybe, but then please answer concretely the questions, and okay, I will give my arguments if I find those answers very dubious. That is the case. Again, I want to say there is nothing personal about it, but that was my first video for today. But this was an introduction video. The main thing will come now in my second part of this video, where I will start to show something new and something difficult to imagine, but even more serious than I was showing earlier. Thank you for your attention.